I was recently invited to a preview of Halloween Horror Nights 25 at Universal Studios Florida for obvious reasons. So here's a breakdown of what I did the night I visited. I recorded a lot of poor quality video while visiting, but keep in mind, I went into only 4 of the 9 houses and I didn't get any video of their interiors. I didn't want to be that guy walking around in the dark, surrounded by crowds of people with a camera in my hand pointed at actors trying to scare me. That would have been terrible. I did record audio while inside the houses though, to give you an idea of what will go down. There's going to obviously be some spoilers in this video, mind you, so if you don't want part of the experience of going to Halloween Horror Nights yourself ruined, you should just head out of this video. It was raining pretty hard before we entered the park. This is usual for Florida. There were a couple of hours that needed to be killed, but all you can really do at City Walk is walk into stores and look at stuff. There's a lot of time spent sheltered from the rain in the gift shop at the Hard Rock, looking at Rihanna's clothes. And a rotating car. That was pretty cool. It was kind of a bummer because I was afraid the rain wouldn't stop anytime soon when I entered the park, but luckily it did. Even though it was a preview, Halloween Horror Nights was still packed. Lots of goths and emos were present, of course. There was quite a long wait at the entrance and the queue was pretty disorganized. When you enter the park, it's like the security at an airport. You get your bag checked, you empty your pockets, walk through a metal detector, and they scan you with a thingy. It's gonna be dark at Halloween Horror Nights. There are a lot of people screaming, so they need to take some annoying precautions to make sure nobody acts out that scenario from the opening scene of Scream 2. At the entrance to the park, you're greeted by demonic clowns with chainsaws. The clowns are just sort of pacing around, occasionally dancing or taking selfies with tourists, so they're more on the silly side. Walking through one of the main streets of Universal Studios, fog can be seen pumped out in great supply. It kinda looks like one of the buildings exploded. The first thing I attended was the Carnage Returns live show. Halloween Horror Nights 25 is a bit of a celebration of the event's history, so the flagship character, Jack the Killer Clown, returns in this show with a makeover. The Carnage Returns isn't a seated show, so you can casually walk up to it whenever. Before the show starts up proper, an amusing little theme song for Jack is played.
A celebrated man amongst the girls. They convince me proper with a bit of luck. The doctors and the nurses, they adore me so, but it's really quite alarming, 'cause I'm such an awful
After that, boobs! Well, it's an intro video of a man being tortured by a clown woman.
During the show, you will see skin, fire, blood, and guts. And if you don't like it, leave!
Here's the premise of the show. Jack has kidnapped some tourists and will be using them for a torture variety circus game show sort of thing. I'm not totally clear on what it is.
You're all invited! After all, you're all gonna die!
The executions of the tourists are determined by the throwing of knives at the spaces on a typical game show wheel. A woman happens to be tied to the wheel, but she's just a superfluous addition for flavor. Jack is joined by another returning character, Chance. Jack's henchwench and girlfriend, I guess. Chance is very clearly supposed to be Harley Quinn. Besides obviously being a clown chick, she dresses a lot like Harley Quinn from Arkham Knight, and she even has an odd voice.
Welcome, my strumpet of screams, my mistress of mayhem, my harlequin of horror, your one and only Chance!
Oh, Daddy!
Everyone say, hello, Chance.
Hello, Chance! You took my tongue, Chance!
I did, and I'll take more than that from you if you don't watch your step.
Okay, Clinton.
There were some neat set pieces for the kills. The one that stood out the most to me was Whack-A-Troll, where Jack seriously kills an internet troll with a mallet. The Carnage Returns is definitely worth checking out during a visit. There's some impressive pyrotechnics employed, some nice choreography, and the guy playing Jack was good.
Everyone raise your blinky glasses high in the sky. Bonus points if you have a Bloody Mary.
The script is pretty cheesy, but it's a theme park. The next thing I checked out was the only other show available, Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. This was a mistake. The Bill and Ted show's opening video made it clear that they didn't want anybody recording video, but I did get some audio. Anyway, the show's about Bill and Ted, of course, from those movies, you know? Bill and Ted's whole thing is that they're dumb high school guys who get a time machine from George Carlin, but their time machine in this Halloween show was stolen. By who, you ask? Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
What's up, Wild Stallions?
Hi.
Kanye and Kim, what have you done?
Well, thanks to your phone booth, I am now the greatest superstar in the world.
This is worse than I thought.
Hold up, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yes, Kanye is going around, I guess, killing celebrities for their talent. The whole point of the show is just making pop culture references from relevant stuff this year. The whole story feels like the epic movie and date movie kind of parodies where it's just one celebrity impersonation after another with a lot of cringy jokes and mashups. The show didn't have anything to do with Halloween, and it had very little to do with Bill and Ted. There was occasionally a decent joke, but otherwise, it was just kind of a waste of time. Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure is absolutely perfect for drunken people, though, because I heard a lot of laughs, and hey, you get to see a lot of half-naked women and men if that's your thing. Here's some audio.
Bill and Ted, you have to stop Kanye from destroying our careers!
But how?
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams! Just do it!
Shia LaBeouf?
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
Just saying it doesn't really help. Didn't we kill that douche canoe last year?
Just do it!
The main attractions of Halloween Horror Nights are the houses, and I knew I wanted to make one of them a top priority. Freddy vs. Jason. On the way, though, we walked through a scare zone called Psychotherapy Unleashed. It was very dark, so the footage is especially bad, but the idea is that some inmates have escaped from an asylum and are causing chaos. Based on what I recorded, it almost looks like it could have been footage of a real-life riot. There were some very strange, interesting characters wandering around, and some more pyrotechnics. They love their explosions at Universal. The wait for the Freddy vs. Jason house was the longest. The estimated wait time was 2 hours, which is an intimidating wait time when you have limited time, but it was really only an hour wait. If you're a fan of Freddy or Jason, the wait is going to be worth it no matter what. In the Freddy vs. Jason house, you go from Camp Crystal Lake to Elm Street and cap things off with some Freddy vs. Jason scenes recreated. The Freddy section was the most faithful to the movies, recreating several moments and kills from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Dream Warriors specifically. Jason's Camp Crystal Lake area was a great interpretation of the setting, but it has more of a general feel of the series with no single Friday the 13th film in mind. The final section with Freddy and Jason fighting felt a little silly, with some video segments representing the fight. The individual Freddy and Jason sections were really well designed and had a good atmosphere. If you visit Halloween Horror Nights, I would make Freddy vs. Jason the first house you visit. To give you an idea of what to expect, here's some audio from the Friday the 13th section. Now here's some audio from Freddy's section. Moving on, I went into an original house called Run, Blood, Sweat, and Fears. Run is supposed to be a reality show where you enter a prison containing the world's deadliest assassins who are mostly stereotypes. The Canadian killer, for example, has Oh Canada playing in his section. Yeah, Run is on the sillier side and was the least scary of the houses that I visited, but there's some gore and characters popping out. The other houses do all that much better, though. Here's a bit of audio. The penultimate house I entered was an American Werewolf in London, based on the 80s horror film of the same name. It's near the Shrek show, which is the scariest thing at the park, but it wasn't open for some reason. Weird. Anyway, an American Werewolf in London was the best of the houses I checked out because it was an extremely faithful recreation of the movie. Every single major horror scene from that movie was present, and the animatronic werewolf used in the house was great. I can't imagine that certain things in the house will make any sense to people who haven't seen the movie, though. Here's some audio from that house. The final house that I entered was another mandatory visit. Jack presents 25 years of Monsters and Mayhem. As an anniversary celebration, this house was a hodgepodge of throwbacks to some of the previous Halloween Horror Nights mascots, and of course, Universal's classic horror movie monsters. This was the longest house that I went into, so you get the most bang for your wait time, and this house had the most variety of monsters and effects. It was a visual treat. Here's the audio from this final house. You spend most of your time at Halloween Horror Nights walking, and it's open pretty late, so I was beat by the end of it. I spent a little time at the end of my visit resting in one of Universal's always available horror attractions, the Classic Monsters Cafe. There's a lot of decorations all over the place from various Universal horror classics, but what caught my eye was the movie being played there. A classic Universal horror movie called Lost World Jurassic Park. Oh wait, Anyway, Halloween Horror Nights 25 was great fun, and there were a lot of cool characters roaming around. It wasn't really all that scary to me, but I've been exposed to a lot of horror. I would sometimes do an "ah" to make the actors happy, but I had a grin on my face the whole time. If you ever find yourself in the Orlando area around October, definitely give Halloween Horror Nights a visit. This has been Sid. I'll see you later.